Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Gospel Manager. We're so excited. God has brought us to the last working day of the week. It's Friday, and it's another time to reminisce on how far God has led us and brought us. And we are so grateful and thankful for all He has done to us. The scripture says that this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. And one of the reasons why we are glad for today is because we have another opportunity to learn from the stables of God's servant, Dr. Maxwell Golden Egbe, just as we receive questions from you, our beloved audience and viewers, concerning pertinent issues bothering you, the struggles you are having, how to come out of it. So as he gets to teach you and also share his wisdom and counsel on how you could actually come out of it, we also get to benefit from that wisdom. So please do write in your questions at the comment section and also via email at thegospelmanager@gmail.com. The information on the scroll bar on your screen. And also you could send through WhatsApp and Telegram text at +234 9047533019. My team and I are always prepared to collate your questions and also share them on this platform as we receive from God's servant the wisdom of God on how to handle those issues, or the best policy ways or the best possible ways or alternatives to solve that issue. The goal is to see you win irrespective of the area or the level or temerity of problem that you are actually going through. And we want to say a big thank you for continuous viewership. Thank you. Please share the link to your friends and family. Let them know that Gospel Manager is live, and God's servant, Dr. Maxwell Golden Egbe, is also live on set. I'm going to leave the floor now for God's servant to give his opening remarks and also set the course for today's episode. Good morning, Dad, and welcome.
Good morning, Mandy. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir.
God bless you. I was trying to, life courses have to be built, and we must try to build life courses. How do I mean? I mean we must look deep into ourselves and try to develop a sector that has the ingredients that connects to the future. I was trying to study the emotions of man and how the emotions of man works, and I discovered that people live by circumstances. People live by the events of their lives. People relate with people by the events, actions of people. So I feel that's a poor state of life, because those factors why you, for example, you are my brother, I have a connection with you by blood. That's beautiful. You are my wife, connected by blood. You are my colleague. You talk well about me. You defend me. You don't say anything bad that I do. You don't come to the aid of the truth when it has to do with correcting me. So you're just there. I see myself telling that people grow to get entitlement. And all of these things I see people do. Marriages, people are entitled in marriage, they don't know what to do. Now you see, we are deep into this entitlement thing that we don't really know what to do. And that is why you can check clearly. And these emotions is what lead us to that entitlement. Connections of brotherhood, father, mother, children, boss, staff, and things like that. So the flexibility of really bringing purpose into our life is even now a problem. People don't see the future anymore. What they see is circumstances, actions of people. And these are the two things people see. So that now gives us access to entitlement. So what you read, you don't read anymore. How you pray, you don't pray anymore. How you walk, you don't walk anymore. And then these things are circumstantial attitude that came to you. then you not ascribe it to somebody's attitude. The reason why I am not talking well anymore is because of this person. The reason why I am not doing this anymore because of this person. The reason why I'm not doing it because of a condition. And all of those things are momentary atmospheres in your life. And that's why the cross is a very massive lesson for us to learn. A man came up and said, I'm going to die. And then at one time, he kept hearing things he was not supposed to hear. But he kept saying, I will die. On the third day, I will rose. I will die. On the third day, I will rose. I will die. On the third day, I will rose. With all the things he faced in his 3+ years on the earth. Today, he's seated in one of the brightest parts on the earth. But it took a man who understood that emotions, circumstances, decisions of men will play itself, but try to go above them and see purpose. So let us try our best. You know, the discussions we have should really be checked. Some people have conversations that are not really purposeful. The conversation is what somebody said, what somebody did, what somebody is doing, how somebody is looking. And that's the reason why when you act, you are acting what somebody said. You get what I'm saying? You're acting what somebody said, and you're acting what somebody did. Not where you are going to, not the price you have to pay, not the life you have to live in the future, not your 10 years, not your 20 years. It's what somebody said, what somebody did. You are even doing something good because somebody did it. You did something because you saw it from someone, so you are doing it. It's not. Our motivations are poor. And as long as these motivations keep getting poorer, we will keep have self-centered decisions that only satisfy our emotions for today and keep our purpose stranded. And that is not a good thing for man. And I pray people begin to get very practically mature in their minds to know that no matter how hungry you are, if you eat, you will still get hungry. That's a part of life. No matter how hungry you are, if you eat, you will still get hungry. Let us start bringing our thoughts into marriage. This marriage in 20 years, how will it look like? What will I be doing to my husband or my wife to progress it? What will I be doing to my place of work to progress it? I don't care what the work gives to me. I want to give something there. I don't care what my husband gives me. I want to give something to my husband. I don't care what my wife brings. What will I give to my parents? Not money now. What will I invest that will change these people's life better? The same thing from parents to children. What will I give to the place where I live so this place could be a better place? You see, those thoughts is what brings up better ideas, better communication, and better approach to people. Let's stop damaging our minds by the things we welcome as sounds to our ears and the things our eyes sees as actions. It demeans, it reduces. And you see, sometimes people take decisions and they think they took it because of how they feel. You took it because of how you are. And you need to get out of that because it's not helping. Because some persons will come with a better mindset to meet you. And when they see you, they may be so discouraged with what they have on ground connected to your person. So we need to work on a lot of discussing ourselves. And that will help pattern everything we do in life. And purpose is so strong. You must follow purpose no matter what happens to your life. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, so we have the first introductory questions will be centered around our nation. We have questions from Kayode. We also have questions from Jide Wonkolo. I'll just shoot the 3 in 1 so that we could step on to the next phase of the questions. Now, the first one, in summary, he wants to know what God's servant thinks and what would be his counsel or advice to the newly appointed, the nominee for INEC, Professor Joash Ojo Amupitan. He's from Kogi State. He's a professor of law, a son in 2014, married with about 4 kids or so. He wants to know what God's servant feels would be his next assignment coming 2027. Kayode wants to know what God's servant's thought is on the recurrent certificate forgery of people who are in high government appointments Like recently, we had the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Uche Naji, who had resigned because of certificate forgery, and early in the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we had another female minister also turned her resignation because of something relating to that. So he wants to know, because he's concerned about our political state, why people who were screened by the Senate and also appointed by the president did not look into such very sensitive cases like certificate forgery. And then the last person wants to know what God's servant's thought is, because recently the IMF had did a publication that 139 million Nigerians are living in abject poverty. Although the presidency yesterday came to debunk that report. So these people want to know what God's servant's advice and counsel is on these matters and how he thinks we can resolve them going forward.
I will try not to get to the dimension of or the direction where I'm expected to, but I want to bring life to our domestic view. What is poverty, if we may define poverty? When somebody says, I have lack, what is lack? Lack can be an act of somebody's decision that he took. That can be lack. You are trying to get what you don't need, so you go into lack. Sometimes we may be describing lack. We need to go back to the people's mind and try to let people know how to live, because we don't know how to live. I have always said, any crisis a man faces, he creates it. I don't blame people. I blame myself when things don't go the way I want it. I have a style, and that is me, and I will take the lesson, and I won't repeat it again. If it happens to me again, it means I didn't see that lesson. So we need to go back to the mind of the people. How do we deal with the mind of these people? Because the moment we deal with the mind of the Nigerian man, poverty won't be a problem anymore. The mind is really the problem. And the moment the mind is handled, the extensions of growth we desire will come. And it's not a government thing. Poverty is not a government thing. Poverty is an attitude thing in this country. Poverty is an attitude crisis. It's not a government thing. So if we start creating extensions of what to do practically as humans here in this bright country, in our little way, what are we doing to eradicate poverty? And how are we changing the minds of people? Somebody sits with you for 5 minutes and is talking to you about certain things. What are you telling the person back? So that response is what people need. That we're not getting the right responses from people. I come to you, I complain, and I don't have food to eat. What response are you giving me? Because what you should be solving is not the hunger. It's the attitude of the person begging the food. Why are you lacking? It is the why that solves the hunger, not giving the person the food. Somebody comes and complains to you, he's working somewhere, they're not paying him much. Ask the person, oh, what is your impact in that place of work? Not why now, let me get you another job. No. What is your role and what are you doing there? Because it is what you are doing there that will create the revenues you desire. If you're not doing anything and then you're desiring for something, you're not going to get it. So we are responding to questions to satisfy the people's emotions instead of creating solutions for the people. So we need to start understanding how to respond back. Is the responses there is a problem here. So those responses are not coming right. Somebody says something is wrong. You can't correct the person right. You can't put the person on a path of a decision that will help the person in the future. So this, to me, is one of the things that must be handled, our responses to situation. The moment we get it right, there's so much valuability in this country that can bless even the least person in this country. And number two, getting yourself into a place of power is something that is beautiful in life, but what you do with it. So I encourage the new guy in the INEC to build his own impact in Nigeria. Study the past chairman, because you must go back before you come forward. Let him make references to the people who have been there. How did they work there? What were their errors? What am I going to add? Because the addition is what creates a name for himself. So what are the mistakes they made? The Wosu, the last guy that left, what are the mistakes these guys make? So what am I going to add? Who do I need? Because those are questions you should ask himself. What am I going to add? Who do I need? And how do I go about it? When he can ask these questions correctly, then decisions taken will be a better way of running an election. And then study nations of the world, how they run the elections, and how is it peaceful? Is there some differences in it? And then that will really take care of itself. For the attitude of people not presenting the right certificate, it's very simple. You see, one of the things about life is all about when you need power and you don't know that power comes with sacrifice, you will do anything to get it. But if you need power and you know that power comes with sacrifice, you will do everything right not to corrupt it. So we are raising people who love power, who wants to stay in power, but they don't know how to make the sacrifices of power. Because that sacrifice comes with decency, comes with a lot of things behind it. So this can only happen when people seek more for power than seeking more for servitude. Everything you do, you are called to serve. So the moment you see that you are serving people, you will know that your records must be kept clean. So we must be the attitude of service. Jesus asked a question in Matthew. He said, "Who do men say I am?" Why was he asking that? Because he was a servant. And when he took those words, you know what he did? He identified the one that will replace him. Because sometimes we ask questions and we give assignments to know those who can do the job better. So when he saw Peter was the one who answered correctly, he said, "Upon this rock I shall build my church." He said it after that statement. So the attitude of servanthood to power should be our fight and concern, not a route to power. Because everybody is fighting to get power, but servitude is more important. If you have a servant mentality, you will not do that. But if you have a power-drunk mentality, you will look for any means to get into power. And that's the truth now. Any means to get into power. And those are not good traits for our examples that is being built for leadership. And let's know that this forgery thing is everywhere. Sometimes it's not even a certificate. It's relationship. You keep a relationship in a place so you can get power. That's forgery too. You give somebody money. You always give somebody certain thing so the person can recommend. That's forgery too. So it may be coming in by certificate, but there are too many forgery situations playing itself around our lives. And let's try to know that servanthood is the best way of integrity. When you keep servanthood, you keep integrity. When you keep integrity, you keep a direction for people to refer to how you can get to power without having crisis.
Thank you so much, sir. That's very profound. Now we move over to the next set of questions. Now don't forget to keep praying for Nigeria in the best way you can. This question says, "Good morning, Daddy. I've been reflecting lately and I just felt led to ask, as a leader who carries so much for others, how do you personally handle moments when you feel emotionally tired or vulnerable? I've been praying for you and it's something I've really been thinking about." Now this is very important because many leaders go through some of all these times. And so who else would better answer the question if not God 7? So we'll leave the floor for God 7 now.
We must see, death is not a program. People are the reasons why people die. And sometimes I People don't know what they do to people. Is, particularly for those people who are privileged to look, there's a nature of the victim. I'm the victim here. I don't have the same privilege. So people think death comes from those who act as victims, but the true death comes from the people who are leading the people. Some people have died 1,000 times leading you. They have died 1,000 times leading you. They just come out for you to see and go in every day. So when I look, I've been a leader for a while and I've seen a lot of things happen around me. So sometimes I'm shocked. Sometimes I am, look at me, sometimes I'll look at the people and I will say, how? But you see, you just need to pray for God to give you people who will not kill you premature. But you can't help it. Just pray that God will give you good people around you who will not let you go to that mood of leadership. And then you should succeed faster. That's the only way out of it, because it will happen to you. You see that you're succeeding faster, you're fulfilling your dreams faster, and the stage there of beauty is already around you. So you may not really see those things anymore because you have succeeded. But if you have not succeeded, you're progressing to succeed, then you now need good people to protect you from such, because they need to protect you. And if you don't have people protecting you, you have a lot of issues. So there are two things here. Success can kill it, and good people around you can also kill it. And then you need to develop a certain level of attitude for yourself to able to know what those to bring around you and those to keep far from you. It's not because of enemies or because of anything, because you see, those who feed you with their energy in leadership are more important than those who are fighting you outside. I repeat again. The people who will kill the leader is not people from outside him, and people within him. The energy they give to that leader is enough to kill him. So sometimes we are talking about household enemies. It's not somebody who's carrying a gun. Somebody who does not believe in what you do. That is even a bigger fashion of a household enemy. Does not believe. For example, we are here. I'm talking now. Somebody has a phone and cannot comment in what we are doing here, but the person belongs here. The person is not making effort to share, to comment, to invite a friend, to get a sister, to get a brother. The person is not making any effort. Every day the person sits in this place, but is not making any visible contribution to the program. Now we are talking about enemies attacking the man and the vision, but there are enemies within the vision attacking that same system. So those things are there. So what do? You must define your system as a leader, so you can live long. That is one. So you can have peace. But people must be good around you, and then you must pray to succeed, because the moment you succeed, it covers. Because if you succeed now and you sit to talk, you already have 1 million followers. Am I correct? So the person within you now will admire to join the Ambi. So the person within you now knows that you have a very strong base outside, and we respect that. Some decisions people do around us because they feel that we don't have the height that they admire. So they play with you. The moment you have that height, the people around you now see the kind of people who come to you, they'll be scared to misbehave around you. So leadership is a very complicated thing, and sometimes I only say this to everybody I meet. Be wise, be strong, and be confident to get up every day and do your thing. Because if you break down, you will be at a loss. So be wise, be confident, and get up every day to do your thing. But I'm praying that God will give you good people who will not add to your damage. People who will not add to your damage. It's very important you have them. Who will not be self-centered. They will not see themselves. They will only see you. My course in life is to make sure this man succeeds. When a leader gets there, he has succeeded. Whether he does not have a house or a car, and people are saying, my course in life is to see this man succeed. Everything I'm doing, they don't care about themselves. They don't bother about themselves. They don't care what they eat. They don't care what they drink. They don't care where they live. They don't care. Everything they are looking for is that if this leader succeeds, I will succeed. That is when you have people that wants to grow what you do. If you don't have them, you are, whether they've stayed with you for 50 years, you don't have anybody. Whether for 50 years, whether for 10 years. Time will tell you, see them act around you because they are not there. Circumstances can keep people, but they are not with you. So, but if you have people who can make sacrifices and don't care, lost their life just for you. They believe in the cause that you're running. They know this thing is going to work. If you have like 5 of them around you, you'll be successful as a leader. They don't care about themselves. You know, some people may just be around the leader because of certain reasons. But I'm talking about people who are there for the purpose of the man succeeding or the leader succeeding. Those kind of people, you have them? No. If death even comes, it will go back. If that leader is being attacked by certain, it will go back. When he remembers those people, he will stay alive. Because sometimes life is not when you pray, give me life. Life is, a leader's life is sustained by the kind of people he has. It's not the kind of prayer he prays or the kind of money he has. The kind of people a leader has is what keeps him healthier and lively and getting up every morning to work. Some people may not even be adding anything to your life, but they are so determined to stand by what you do. They may not even know anything. They are making mistakes, but they know they have a part with you. That's all. That is all. Why is Trump very powerful? Is it because he has money? No. He has people who just believes in him. He's not a core politician now. Is that man a core politician? Everything he does is out of the norms of politics. But he has one fan base. His base is simple. People follow him. They follow the man, not the presidency, the man. So if that man wants to run for third term, you see them, they will vote him. Because the man is who they believe in. So that is what will protect the leader. The kind of people around him. People who don't bother about their own self-esteem. They don't want respect for themselves. They don't want anything. All they just want is that this man should be successful. People who are not fighting for their right. They are fighting for the right of the man. That is when you see people fighting for their rights and everything, that's where the problem is. The moment people around the man stop fighting for their right and start fighting for the right of the man, there is success everywhere. Boom! There will be expansion because the people are the expansion. The man can't expand without the people. If you don't buy a ticket, will you travel? If you don't travel overseas and ask us to come and do something, are we going to come? So the people are the harvest. So sometimes we raise the wrong people, depend on the wrong people, and expect the people to help us. So they can't help us. So the leaders have to be strong first and be wise and know that and pray for good people. Good people, good people, sacrificial people around your life who know what they are called to do around you. And they can fight for that. No matter what they hear and see, they will fight to keep that. And those are the people you need. Then succeed quickly. If your success drags, you have a lot of problems as a leader. You must succeed quickly. Because some people want to see success so they can stay. They want to see gifts huge amount of monies so they can stay. But if you have that expectation, you will not stay in a place.
That bother you as a leader?
It shouldn't. If you are not a purposeful leader, it will bother you because you're a man. But when you are helpless, certain things you want to do that you can't do them because people want to push you. You know, sometimes people's actions want to push you to a certain decision. You have issues with yourself. You have to be strong and keep believing that what you do will progress. But don't allow people, because people will treat you that, they will show you that path. And don't accept the path because it's always going to be there. They will just kick you aside as if you've never done anything to them. But it's a part of life. It's a part of your growing up as a person. So you can take a better decision in the future. But if you quit, you have lost the purpose of why you are there. So you just have to keep getting up every day and do what you have to do. If they bring those kind of pictures to you, just keep looking for the best way to handle what you do. That's just all I would say. You can't do more than that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. God 7 once said that leadership is not a title, leadership is a tax. And he has answered a couple of these questions that I'm about to ask, just so you know that your questions were not ignored. But he said, be wise, be strong, and keep doing what you're doing. And I believe that that is the answer to some of these questions. I'll just read them so that the viewers who sent these questions will acknowledge that we had actually touched on them, except if he wants to address them. If not, move over to the next one. So this one says, this is as Isaac. He says, everyone looks up to me for answers, but inside I feel very empty. How can I lead others when I'm secretly lost myself? Now, the other person said, leadership is supposed to inspire, but what happens when the pressure to perform is crushing the life out of me? And the last person said, how can I stand on stages and command respect when deep inside I'm drowning and no one sees it? Then the last person also said, what do you do when leadership turns you into a public success but a private failure? Well, I think it has been addressed, but if God 7 wants to touch on it, it's fine.
Sometimes I cry. I'm not crying because I've failed. I'm crying because what else will you show people? And sometimes there's nothing to show them. Those who are meant to sacrifice with you will be there. As I said earlier, to be inspired has to be personal as a leader. You have to first of all build an inspiring nature for yourself. You have to know that. If you build that first, and anything that comes outside that, just take it as a part of your journey in leadership. Have I ever felt some time to give up? Of course, yes, too many times. Too many times. Too many times, I just want to stay away from people. I just want to stay away from everybody. Too many times. I want to be alone. I want to just sit and don't speak to anybody. Because the fight of trying to grow men is not for my interest. I say a young lad, I say, you have a future, or yeah, this is your path. And the person tells me it's not his path. After I've invested a certain part of my life to the person's life, and the person just gets up one day and tells you that's not his path. Are you following what I'm saying? So if you are not a man with a lot of guts, courage, determination to build, it's easier for somebody to say what they want to say, but it's like a man going to get a virgin land. Let me tell you how risky this thing is. So, just imagine I am 25 years old. I became a leader and I started investing on people. And then I got to 40, invested on people. And all of a sudden, I keep noticing that these people are investing, keep getting up and walking away. Now, and then you keep starting again, and walking away. Sometimes you have to ask yourself a question if you are the problem. If you're a genuine person, you ask yourself, am I really the problem? Why is this happening to me? Then on the second thought, you really go and ask yourself, okay, what are the things you are doing? You discover that it's simple. It's the vision policies around you that you are working on. But man is not a genuine follower. Because as long as man is not a genuine follower, these are the things that will trade themselves. But you need to believe in what you are doing, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and stay confident. When you are weak, know the things to do to stay out of that weakness. Handle disappointment as a part of the lessons you have to learn. And then come out every day doing your job. Come out every day knowing what to do. Because you must lead people. You must always lead people. So do that and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And keep believing that one day this thing is going to be better for you. And keep praying that the right people will keep staying around your life and helping, because you have to be helped too as a leader. And helping you. If the person who writes the script for you is seeing how to improve writing that script, that person is sacrificing his time for you. Some people are very available, but they are just rebelliously doing that thing that they're doing around you. So we don't do a lot of people. They are not the right people around you. You need people who are making the progression of how you will grow. How do I grow this man? He's making too many mistakes here, and they will not. You don't need to teach somebody for the person to learn. I noticed that this man is making too many mistakes as a leader, and this is the man I am assigned to. How do I help him without going to instruct him so he can better what he does? It's simple. I have done that countless times to people, and they don't know I help them, and they would never hear me talk to them, because that's your assignment to the place. So the moment you notice a leader is having a certain weakness, crisis, he looks at him all the time, he's a kind, what is really the problem? You don't need to talk to the person, you can solve the problem. That guy is feeling lost. It's simple. It's the pressure of leading people. The pressure of leading people is so complex. But if you have wise and good people, they will notice it and see what they can do to help you come out of it. Why is he always quiet now? What's the problem? You do a note to him. I'm right behind you. I will always be here. You buy a book. I had a little girl around me who always gets me a book when something happens around me. You will buy the book that connects the situation. They send me a long note. She will write a letter and write it to me and send to me. So when I see it, I will just smile. And that letter, I will read it every day. Because sometimes we look very powerful, but we are very weak in our private places. So we need good people and wise people. Not just good people and wise people. Because sometimes we have foolish people all around us. Even talking like the evil playing around the leader. We need good people and wise people around us. Because if the leader is weak, the system is weak. If the leader is actively strong, the system is strong. So we must, if you are even following somebody, be the person that will help the person. We depend so much from the leader. There are people around the leader that are even more important than the leader itself. The leader will not have anything to do if the people around him are not useful. So the people within that man are even more powerful than the man himself. We just need him to be alive. Let nothing happen to this man. So they make sure nothing happens to the man, so he can function at the highest level of his capacity. And today, people don't, wise and good people are not there anymore. They are just not there. You have to push yourself so hard to get certain things done. So we need to go back to that, and we will save a lot of gifted people, geniuses, powerful people, because of the kind of people they have around them, and it's going to help.
Thank you so much, sir. That's a very, 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 even if you don't have a leadership book, when you listen to this episode on Gospel Manager, you would have a first-hand information, encouragement on what leadership is about. Leadership is not easy. To be a leader is not just a title, like God's servant had taught us. years back. It's a tax that you must fulfill. Whether or not the pleasures of life are there as evidence, you must keep pushing until you get it done. Irrespective of who is there, who believes in it, you must first of all believe in it and push. And like God's servant has said, have good people and wise people around you. I think one of the issues we've had over time is that leaders just look for good people around them. But when these good people fail them, they become so discouraged. And that's why I feel that my friend got lost in that. So you must have good people who are also wise to understand their role around you and the vision, as God's servant has admonished us this morning. So profound. Please share this to your friends, your family. Share this to a leader who is around you, who is feeling discouraged, whether a Christian leader, whether a corporate leader, whether a government leader. Send it to them and let them know that the solution is to have good people and wise people around them. And they must be wise, be strong, and keep doing those things that they do. And don't forget what God's servant said, succeed early. So when people see the evidence, they know that there is hope and there's light at the end of the tunnel. So grateful to God's servant for this expository. Now we go over to this question. This one says, good morning, Bishop, sir. I have a question to ask, and I'm asking out of great guilt and confusion. I made a terrible mistake in my past, and upon my revelation from my younger brother, who also is a very solid Christian, I slept with a certain girl sometime last year, and since I slept with that girl, everything about my life has turned upside down. I didn't know this until my younger brother pointed it to the extent where he mentioned the name of the lady in a kind of prophecy. And then that was where I had a retrospect and began to see that of a truth. Since that very day I slept with that girl, my whole life has turned around in a negative form. So please, what can I do to get my life back? Because it seems that anything I touch just dies.
Get a relationship that is prophetic into your life. And let the prophetic relationship tell you what to do. And pray for you. That simply means there's a controlling force around that person's life that he has initiated himself into. So if that prophetic relationship comes to his life, in a second it will go. So it's not a problem if he knows who to meet. And study the Bible too. Read some Psalms, just read Isaiah, read the New Testament, and then be out of it. If it's interested for me to help you, you should reach the team so that I can assist you.
So much, sir. All right, so God's servant had given you a hand of fellowship. So if you want to hear from him directly, please reach out and we will also link you up. Before I read this next question, I would like to say this. I recommend the Gospel Manager to anybody, anywhere, anytime, any day. And also the teachings of God's servant on the Youth Excel, the Jesus Dream for Youths and Singles, and the Marriage Excel, the Jesus Dreams for Marriage and Parenting. Because of this question, and we have overflowed this and Gospel Manager, we will not stop until people get it right. Now this question comes and it says, good morning, Bishop. I recently stumbled upon a news that a young lieutenant in the Nigerian army was set ablaze by his wife, who they got married 5 months ago. Sadly, the young lieutenant is now deceased, but the wife had been sentenced to court. She's currently in cell and awaiting trial. From my findings, it was said that they had a heated argument because she saw a text message from another girl on his phone, and while she was confronting him, they had a very heated argument, and then she went, took a gallon of fuel, poured on him and set him ablaze. So this is just one of many crises we have seen in relationship. What is the way forward?
You know, if you remember, I said the problem is there are children getting into marriages. So when you are a child and you are into a relationship, that's how you behave. And no, there's not. What's the action for that will take somebody's life? Because somebody you saw a text message. That still cannot define if the person cheated. We just have to be careful with pictures. I was trying to check the mind of man. Sometimes if you open somebody's mind and check how they think, you'll be shocked. People don't think well. People don't read, so they don't think well. They don't read good books, so they don't think well. So to me, that shouldn't have been a problem. It should have been a conversation. Then, because observing it would have been the next thing to do from the woman. But you see, every action comes with consequences. She has taken the action, the consequence is what is paying itself. But people must get mature first before they get married. I'm appealing to people. Your age is just a number. There are people who are married for 30 years are still behaving like children. Their actions, their conversations, the way they even raise their children, the way they talk to their kids. I'm just feeling irritated. You understand what I'm saying? There are certain things that should not be happening around you. Because marriage is a responsibility. It takes a lot to be married. It takes a lot to be married. It takes a lot to be married. A lot to be married. Sometimes you don't even like the way the person behaves. But it's marriage. Sometimes there are certain things you expect to see, but it is marriage. You can't see them. So you have to devise an alternative to stay there. It takes a lot. Some things you did not see when you even got married. It's after you got married, you saw it. So it takes a lot to get married. A lot. And you must be mature in mind to be married, though. If you're not mature in mind, don't try it. You're going to come out of it. So that lady may have a point to be angry, but she would have gotten angry with a sense of maturity for her husband. But sometimes we put our emotions first and take reasoning and put it at the back. And that is the result of somebody who does not think but acts. And it's not only that, people do it before they realize they have said all kind of nonsense in public. Then they now realize and begin to beg. But you would have reasoned first. Whether you are very angry, you would have reasoned first before you talk. And so we need to go back to the mature traits of relationships before getting into marriage.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I'm not sure about this question, but I would read it anyway, if maybe God's servant may have a better understanding. This one says, "Good morning, sir. Is it only man that is not a genuine follower? Come to think of, even angels or creatures generally."
I don't have any business with angel. Not for my own is the person I'm seeing that I'm talking about. So people must do their best. When you notice, I was speaking to a set of persons many years ago. I said, this guy is very gifted. All of you should serve him. They looked at me. I said, you see, life has only one opportunity. The one opportunity about life is just one. It's not true. Forget about this. There are too many doors. It's only one door. A man's door can be the person he serves. Donald Trump. As long as you follow Donald Trump, you will enter White House. Are you not in White House? So that will be done to follow that man. Is what will give you the fame. Sometimes we are looking for a lot. Your privilege can be just follow somebody. And then as time progresses, you are at the top. No matter what we say about Bishop Abiri, how powerful he is, the reason why he's where he is because of who? He followed the Yoruba. Whether he is no more with the man, that thing is what is still going all about for him. Because you can't take that from him. And that's what life is all about. So let's understand that your life can be more patterned when you yourself notice somebody who is better than you. I've always said it, better than you, gifted than you. What are you trying to show yourself for? Again, stop that. And carry yourself and plant in somebody superior in your life. As the person, by the grace of God, the person progresses. You progress and just become. So follow. Be sensitive to that. Don't miss it. It's important. and your life will not end in struggle.
Thank you so much, sir. So we'll take the last question for today's episode, and this one is on business and career. And it says, "Good morning, my name is Joshua. Sir, how can you support your spouse's career, business, or gifting when they feel discouraged or insufficient? Because this is me asking on behalf of my wife, who has a very amazing business that is flourishing, but sometimes oftentimes discouraged. And when I ask her what the issues are, her excuses or her statements are always centered around her being insufficient, her not seeing the bigger picture. I do try to encourage her, but is there another way you think I could approach this? Because she's really smart, really hardworking, but most times very easily discouraged."
People don't listen. Listening is the problem. When I hear somebody say somebody is stubborn, I'm asking myself, how? Or somebody is proud, how? So these two statements, when I hear it, I'm asking myself, why? Because if nature wanted us to be stubborn, it would have given us 2 ears. The 2 ears simply means you have to listen. The 2 ears is for listening. The 2 eyes is for seeing. The mouth was even made so that you keep quiet. The mouth was meant to close like this. If it's like this, you are meant to talk. The mouth is meant close it. But gave you 2 visible things to always use it. See with it and hear with it. And those are the ear and the eye. Your mouth was meant to be closed. Only talk when necessary. That's what the mouth is meant for. So for her case, if she listens effectively, and she won't have, the problem she's having is people. She sees one person there, that one is better than me. This one is like this. That's the problem. Man's problem is people. The pictures you see around you. That one is better than me. That one is better than me. The person did it better. The business is better than my own. That's the problem. So when you stop seeing people's pictures and see your own dream picture, that's when you do well. I have never seen anybody in my life that I see them like this and I begin to weep. Oh God. No, I don't. You know why? Let's really check them and check those people who are bigger than you now. Intellectually smart, you are better than them. It is time and privilege that has given them those things. So if you also work on your own time and privilege, you're going to have the same thing too. Keep your age aside. The only difference is time and privilege. So if you also work on your own time and privilege, you're going to have those things yourself. So feeling limited is because of the things she's seeing. She should stop feeling limited and stop seeing those things and see her own personal picture of the future and keep going to do that business every day. And that's all, and that's what he should tell her. And that's what she should be doing for herself. The more money she will get up, she has succeeded.
Thank you so much, sir. We were supposed to call it a wrap, but a message came, and it's coming 3 times from Ademola Lukman Joe Makinde. He says, "Good morning, Bishop. I have a vision of becoming a sports administrator. Sir, my current question to you this morning will be on the state of the Nigerian Super Eagles and the Nigerian Football League. We seem to be lagging so much, such that the Egyptian League and the South African League, they are 10 times higher than the Nigerian Professional Football League. So what do you think is our issue in the sports administration of Nigeria? We have talented players across the continents and tribes, but poor management is our issue. From a young, promising administrator that I have envisioned myself to be, how can I make an impact even though I am not at the helm of affairs? Or how can I sound the touch on the essence of sport administration, catching people early? And sir, what do you think is the current issues we're having, why we currently now praying to qualify for the World Cup? We missed it the first time. It's happening again. What is our issue, sir?
We don't have any problem. Our problem is 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 it really a problem? We are too relaxed. You know, when people are too relaxed, that's our problem. When you are restless to do something, you will see what to do. We are too relaxed. It's okay. It's okay. Leave it. It doesn't matter. So those are the problems. So when people are too relaxed, structures will be damaged. Sight will not be seen. So those are the two things that brings progress: structure and sight. The moment a man gets restless, he will create a structure for it. When a man is relaxed, he will just take things one day at a time. Well, I am. That's the way we are. So if we want to change it, let's get restless, then build structures. And when structures are there, there will be a sight to see. And when you have those things, you will see ideas floating in the air. And that is where money comes from. And when money comes into the picture, systems will be raised to fit into the standard we desire. And then the last one is sacrifice. People have to pay the price for growth. Growth is not cheap, and growth is not free. You want to grow, sacrifice yourself for it. I just see people who desire things. You want to go and stay in a house that has this. You want to go and do that. This. Nigeria, if we want to succeed at every frame of sports, we must pay the price for it. We must train ourselves. We must raise ourselves. And if we are not training ourselves and raising ourselves, how do we succeed in those areas of life? So, talents don't raise themselves. Talents are trained before they shine. So, when our trainers are not properly trained, how do they raise the gift? You'll be claiming that you are gifted. That's be careful. Your coach is your destiny. Forget it. How are these people trained? Check clearly. How are these people trained? That's why somebody will go to in an unknown school. Someone who goes to a very known school comes out, you put both parties together. The one who went to an unknown school is more successful because the person was trained not by the school but by a trainer in that system. And then you succeed. So let's go back to all of these board lines. And this country is great. This country is blessed with people. Is to build the right structures and observations and trainers and directions. And then we'll be the best. For the Super Eagles, if those guys get restless, because they are talented boys, they will play so well that even the structure of this country cannot stop them from succeeding. It's restlessness. People are too relaxed to succeed. That's the problem. When failure does not disturb you, then you're not going to succeed. When you do something wrong and you're not bothered, you're not going to succeed. Failure should bother you. Why are these things happening like this all the time? Then you look for ways to make it better. That's when you succeed. So when failure is not disturbing you, it's okay with you. You are happy. You are considering people who are failing. You are considering people. Leave them a bed, they have tried. Leave them there, they have tried. That attitude will not take you anywhere. You must be angry when things are not going the way they are supposed to go. That is when growth will come to people. And when we are all okay with whatever, I leave them now, it don't happen. Now so God want them. That's a bad way of living life. In my normal day, you can see, I will react at you for that kind of life because it's bad. So we need to be restless in this country. And then in every segment of life, we will succeed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I believe that answers your question. Mr. Ademola Lukman Ojo Makinde. Sounds like Ademola Lukman. But we know that we have talented individuals, like God's servant has also confirmed. But we must pay attention to those who are training us. And we must be restless, especially the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Yes, we can conquer. We could go as far as our restlessness permits us. So please, we had so many questions still on relationships, some on marriages, but I want to specially invite you to our Sunday service this Sunday, the 12th of October 2025. God 7 teaches in one of the sections on youths and singles and also marriage and parenting. So those sections would answer majority of the questions that we have here. And however, don't forget, whilst you hook up to the service, you could actually send in your questions still at thegospelmanager@gmail.com, and also WhatsApp, text, and Telegram +234 974 47533019. My team and I will also collate the questions and prepare them when Gospel Manager returns on Monday at 7 a.m. Now the service is for 6:30 a.m., 8:30 a.m., and 10:30 a.m. live at Rehoboth City. So if you have not been part of our amazing service, this is an opportunity to hear God's servants live. Take a step of faith, come out of your phone screens, your system screens or TV screens, wherever you're watching the Gospel Manager, and step into Rehoboth City live to get in contact with God's servant and enjoy the largesse of God's presence at our service days. It's going to be an amazing time. I'm sure that you will leave with a testimony. Don't forget, 3 amazing services this Sunday, 6:30 a.m., 8:30 a.m., and 10:30 a.m. And if you have questions around how to live a structured life as a youth and how to live a structured life as a single in a relationship, or one who is intending to get married, or if your marriage is having some crack and issues and you're having difficulties parenting your children, then don't miss the first service and the second service, which is 6:30 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. God's servant takes some time to address those issues, and I tell you, you won't regret you were part of the service. We can't wait to have you. And don't forget, there is another platform where God's servant sits with some of our very highly esteemed deacons and pastors here in the Honor World International for a program titled The Professionals, where he tries to dissolve doubts in various fields of life. So it's going to be a wonderful expository next week, Friday at 8 p.m. on YouTube at Maxwell Golden Egbe. It's going to be an amazing time, and you can get your families together as they discuss the theme of the moment. Now I'm going to leave the floor now for God's servant to give his closing remarks and bless us for this beautiful weekend.
Let's rise and make the change anywhere we find ourselves. Let's rise to make the change. Let's stop accusing and blaming. Conduciveness is not an atmosphere. It's created by the actions of man. Change an environment because you are there. Make a difference while you are alive. Life is an investment that you must carry to life. Life means life. But what life does to life is what makes life effective. Whatever happens in a place is the act of the kind of people who are there. And one of the privileges that God gives is that he gives you access to systems so you can make your own kind of contributions. And don't ever invest wrongly in a system. Because tomorrow can't be defined by you, but you can hope to see it. So let's invest right in any system we belong and become the frontliners of growth in anywhere we go to. Because your story is your name, and your name is your brand, and your brand is your pattern, and your pattern is that fruit that will never fail. It will not fail and it will not fade. Don't take this lightly, that your pattern is your brand and it will not fail and it will not fade. Let's know that impacting systems is more stronger than raising a child. Because if you impact a system, your child will eat from it. You have nothing you have impacted on. The child will not eat from it. So impacting system, and stop caring for yourself. That's why the word says self. Care for people, care for systems. Because it is the system that will matter at the end. And I end with this. Those who are always fighting for their interest don't have interest to give out. But those who are fighting for the interest of systems they have a lot of interest to gain at the end of the day. Mandela fought for a nation. Today, what was the name of Mandela? The name is South Africa. How did he start? He fought for the interest of South Africa. Today, what is his name? South Africa. That is what happens to you when you fight for people. When you fight for yourself, you have no name. Mandela, interest to a nation. The man is dead, and let me shock you with this. You will live longer when you fight for people and systems. He lived up to 100. A man who stayed in prison for 20-something years. He fought for a country. Let's start fighting for systems. The more you fight for systems, the better your name is lasting on the earth. And it will always remain there till the day Jesus comes. I wish you the best of the weekend, and I pray that the wisdom to think, the wisdom to do what is gainful, and to be the needed vessel for peace in the life of man, and be productive with your actions, and add righteousness to it. Your best favored life is ahead of you. Be blessed in Jesus' name.
Amen. God's servant has taught us that change is not in words, change is in action. So it is not theory, change is a person. Be the change that we need. You are the person to effect the change wherever you are, whatever system you are in. And that is why we say here, life is beautiful, and you, my friend, can handle it. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and we'll see you on Monday at 7 a.m. when Gospel Manager returns. God bless you.
The tradings of knowledge is the tradings of growth. Your life will be better if you spend more time reading. Those who don't read will be misled. Those who don't read will always have things to complain about. Those who read know, and those who know will act right. Acting right is a product of knowledge. Reading enhances capacity and competence. To be intellectual may be born made, but to be a scholar is to be reading made. You read yourself to become a scholar at every frame of existence. Any gift without competent knowledge will be fake. Money making is tied to knowledge, it's not tied to giftings. Read, open books, read them. Read. Character is a product of the book you read. Every first class student is a first class reader. Read. The book not open can edify you. The book not open can grow you. The book you don't open can never bless you. The tradings of knowledge is the tradings of growth. Your life will be better if you spend more time reading. Those who don't read will be misled. Those who don't read will always have things to complain about. Those who read know, and those who know will act right. Acting right is a product of knowledge. Reading enhances capacity and competence. To be intellectual may be born made, but to be a scholar is to be reading made. You read yourself to become a scholar at every frame of existence. Any gift without competent knowledge will be fake. Money making is tied to knowledge, it's not tied to giftings. Read, open books, read them. Read. Character is a product of the book you read. Every first class student is a first class reader. Read. The book not open can edify you. The book not open can grow you. The book you don't open can never bless you.